Hey friends, it's Deanna here, and I am here to do the kids Sip It jacket, and it's the same way that we do the adults. So I am just going to do this version because it's easier for me to do just a smaller version so you can see it better, but it's the same thing. So yes, before we get started though, let me remind you about our fun fan giveaway that we're doing. And so every month we'll pick a fan and we will do a random drawing from our fans of a $50 Ellie and Matt gift certificate. So for you to enter, you need to subscribe and comment below and let me know that you subscribed, and you will be entered for that giveaway. And it's a monthly giveaway, so that's great. So you can just be on the lookout and we'll announce our winner. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. I already cut all my pieces. Now I am not making mine reversible, but I am lining it. So what I mean by that is that my whole liner is just black. So it's just black, but if you're gonna do it reversible, you might want some funky colors. You might even still do the pattern, the color blocking on the sleeves, which I'm not doing it on my liner. I'm just doing straight sleeves. Color blocking, all that stuff like that. So if you want to do that, you can go ahead, but I am just doing the plain. And then on this video, I will be showing you how to do everything on the outer, and then I kind of will tell you what you do on the inner, but it's the same basic steps. You'll do it on the outer and the inner. I already have my inner all cut out. See, it's just black, except for my hood. My hood is gray, but yes. And so we're gonna do the same steps to the outer than to the inner, and it'll be easy. We'll do it together. So I've got my back, and I'm gonna put it face up on my mat. And here's my front, my two fronts, because it's a zippy. And we're gonna make sure that they match. The armpits have to match together. You don't wanna put it on this one and they don't match, so that's not right. And we're gonna sew those shoulder seams right here. You know what we're doing today? I know the reason why you guys are here. Because it's a zipper. I know you. I know. Let's do it together. I'm scared too. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and sew those shoulders together. And like I said, you'll be doing the same steps to the liner. You'll be sewing the shoulders together on the liner. And then after we sew those shoulders together, it's like a little vest, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our sleeves. I am doing the color blocking option, but I only doing one color block and then the sleeve. There's the one that has 1, 2, 3, and then the cuff. Sorry, not sleeve, cuff. But this one I'm just doing the 1, 2 cuff. If you're doing 3 of them, then you would just do the same step, but just add another one to it. And on my liner, I just did it all one straight sleeve because I'm just keeping it the same color. But if you are going to do color blocking, then you might want to do the same thing to your liner. So I'm putting my sleeve down, the bottom part. Here's my shoulder, my little shoulder. Whoop, papers are flying everywhere. And here's my next section of my sleeve. You can tell that it meets because they're going to have to, you have to make sure that they match up. The bottom won't match up, it's smaller. So don't pull it. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. It's the other side, okay? So here it is. And I turned on my fan, my ceiling fan, because it was getting a little warm. It's really sunny out, so this room gets really warm. And I turned the fan on and all my pattern pieces are just falling everywhere. Sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and sew that raw edge. Now this is the step. If you want to, you don't have to. I like to do it with my hoodies and stuff like that. You can go ahead and top stitch. So first of all, go ahead and steam that down. It'd help if your iron was on. So I steam that down, and then I'm gonna go over and top stitch right there. Now my other sleeve, I already made the other one, so you're doing the same thing to both sleeves. And I did go ahead and top stitch that one already. So I'm gonna put this one to the side, and I'm gonna show you the next step with this sleeve that's already top stitched. I'm gonna go ahead and fold it in half, and I'm gonna find that top corner where my shoulder goes, and I'm going to mark it. I like to do like a little notch, but you can just, if you wanna just put a pin or a clip there, that works just fine. But I just wanted to notch it because that's just easier for me. Now I'm gonna grab my little vest and see right here where my arm opening is. I'm gonna put that face up right here, and I'm gonna put my sleeve, sorry, that was the other side, right where I marked that notch is gonna go right at the shoulder. And then I'm gonna go right to one side, go down, matching those raw edges all the way down. Just match the raw edges. And then I'm gonna go the other way. Now you're doing the same thing. This same thing you're gonna do to the liner. And actually this same thing you're gonna do to the other sleeve. So I already, like I said, I created my other sleeve, so I'm doing it to this sleeve, but then I'm gonna finish up this sleeve and do it on the other side. And now we just go ahead and sew that raw edge right there. I'm gonna go ahead and sew this raw edge. And I'll go ahead and actually sew on my other sleeve. And then we'll come back and move on to our next step. These are on, but you guys forgot to remind me about the pockets. We almost forgot about the pockets. So I would advise that you do the pockets before you sew the sleeves on, but that's okay if you already sew the sleeves on with me. And here is how we do the pocket. I already put one of the pockets on. There is a chart. It shows you where to put it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, so you would put, if you're doing one side, you would make sure you put one pocket front, and we only put it on the liner, okay? I mean on the outer. One pocket front on the front, and one pocket on the back of the same side. If you're doing pocket on one side. If you're doing pocket on both sides, then you put one on each side, the side seams, okay? So here's one pocket is already on, so I'm gonna show you how to put the other pocket on. So you would line up my pattern with it, and now it's gonna be a little bit off right here because I already cut my seam allowance right there because I did my arm first. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And we're gonna grab we're gonna mark right here where the star is, which is the pocket alignment. We'll mark it right there. And we'll grab our pocket. Now remember, it has to be face down, right on top of a fabric, right sides together. And the pocket has to be down. So like you can put your hand going down like that. That way it's not upside down when you sew it on. And you pin it to the raw edge of your side, okay? This is the side. And we're gonna go ahead and serge that side together. You will only put the pockets on the outer. So you don't have to worry about putting pockets on the liner, okay? So the liner, you would be attaching your sleeves just like you did on this one. And now you would move on to sewing the sides together. So you would skip this pocket step altogether. So you would put this pocket sides on all sides that you're making pockets on. If you're making pockets just on one side, you would put in the front and the back. If you're making pockets on both sides, you would put both fronts and both backs. I already did that on my other side. So here's my other pocket. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna sew the sides together. I think on the pattern, it has you do the hood first, and that's fine. We can do the hood first, but I was just gonna go ahead and sew the side together, and then go ahead and put the hood together. But yeah, to sew the side together, all you're doing is you're just matching up that whole side. If you don't have pockets, it's just gonna be a straight line. But if you have pockets, as I do, you would go around, you're gonna go around the pocket as you sew that on. I always used to have a lot of trouble sewing the pocket on when I would do with the serger, because right here in the corners, I would miss a step or cut too high or too low. Remember to match up your seams when you're putting your sleeve together. So we're putting just those raw edges together. But now what I do when I sew my pocket on is that when I get to this part right here, I just stretch my pocket down and make it like a straight line, as straight as I can as I'm serging it through. And go all the way around and do the same thing. Straight, try to serge it straight, and it helps, okay? So I'm gonna show you. I go in and all the way out, so we're just serging that on, that side. Just like a sleeve, you go straight at the sleeve seam. And now I'm gonna do the same thing for the pocket. I'm just gonna pull that pocket down and make it go straight. I was trying to show you and I cut a little too much in my pocket. But you know what, that's okay. I'd rather have a smaller pocket that has everything all together than a big pocket that has holes. So I'm going all the way around my pocket. And then when I get over here, again, I'm gonna push pull my fabric straight, pretty straight, and keep going. Now, if for some reason, so now I check it, and it came out good, but if for some reason, yeah, no holes. If for some reason I did have a gap, I would go ahead and do a zigzag stitch over it. I would not try to do it again with my serger because you're just gonna end up, you might be better than me, but every time I found that when I try to do that, my serger just cuts a little bit more, and cuts a little bit more, and cuts a little bit more. So I found that it's more helpful if I just go over it, that little spot that I made, that little hole, that little gap that I left, and do a zigzag stitch a couple times. Zigzag and back and forth, and that usually fixes it. So our outer is pretty much done. I did the same thing to the other side, so I already sewed the other side together. Here it is. It looks like a little men's jacket. So cute. And now we're gonna go ahead and move on to putting our hood together. And you're gonna do the same thing to our hood liner and our hood outer. I already did it to my hood liner, and here's my hood outer. You're gonna put right sides together, which this is already right sides together, and we're gonna pin it around. This is my two hoods, okay? So my other is right sides together. It's kind of hard to see because this is black. This is one and that's the other. And pin. And we're gonna sew all the way around the outer edge. I am so excited. We had a neighborhood-wide yard sale this morning in my neighborhood, and I got these 2 shelves. Okay, where do you store your fabric? Let me know, because let me empty this out. I'm working with like fuzzy fabric, so it gets full quickly. This is like a thicker, cozier fabric, which is nice. A lot of the other hoodies that I've made for my son are like cotton lycra hoodies or French terry, which is more of a thin material. So I wanted to make him something that's thicker and it's warmer, even though it's getting warm outside. But I know the time will come. I made it a little bit bigger than his size right now so that it'll fit him when it's cold. But anyway, so how do you store your fabric? Because I had this big shelf and it was full of fabric, and I have some fabric right here on this shelf and another shelf back there, and I have a little bit on my closet. But we moved the shelf into my son's room because it kind of matches his room better. It's a darker wood, and also he has a lot of things that we're going to put in their books and stuff, so I'm like, okay, I'll sacrifice it. And my husband's supposed to build me some shelves to go on my wall, like a whole wall of shelves, but he's been working so much and that he hasn't had time, and I understand. I'm not upset. I mean, he built me these awesome shelves back here, so cool, and so I'm looking forward to it, but I know it's not going to happen for a while. So what do you think I did? I have all my fabric in those plastic bins, like so annoying, shoved up in plastic bins inside my closet. So like when I'm gonna go look for a project to sew, I have to dig through bins and bins of fabric. Just dig and try to figure out what I want. I don't work that way because I'm a visual person. I have to see it all together. Do you understand? You know what I mean? And so like I can't see it when it's inside a plastic bucket. So anyway, I was walking around and some lady, she had some shelves, cream off-white shelves up, and she was selling them. So I'm so excited because I bought them and I haven't picked them up yet because I need to go get them. My husband's not here. I didn't have a truck, so I'm waiting on that. But I'm so excited. I don't know why I told you guys all that, but I just thought you'd be excited with me. I'll have some shelves. Now I'll have some shelves until my husband can build me something. And when I told my husband, he's like, I don't mind building you. I said, I know you don't mind, but how long is it gonna take to build? He's like, well, I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, it's sweet, and I know he will build them for me, and he's a sweet husband and everything. I'm not trying to talk him down, but I just think it's exciting, just to have something right now. And they were really, really cheap. I can't believe what a deal she gave me. So that was really exciting because I'm like, I don't have that much money to be spending a lot of money on this, especially when I'm planning on him building me another shelf. But she gave me a really good deal. So I'm like, I can put him somewhere else in my house. They're really cute. They're not huge, but they'll do the job. So anyway, that is exciting. But let's move on to our actual sewing because, you don't really, or you're not here to hear about my life. You're here to sew. So here we go. We're going to meet those shoulders together right here on the top of our hoodie. And we're going to go out to this back and mark right there. The way I do it is I just do a little notch. But you can just pin it or clip it or whatever. That's just my back. And that's where I'm going to match my hood seam, the back seam too, and I'm putting it right sides together. So the right side of the hood to the right side of the jacket, and I'm going all the way out to the edge and pinning. So I'm gonna sew that hood on to my shirt, my hoodie. Is it a hoodie if the hoodie's not attached? Jacket, onto my jacket. And then we'll turn it into a hoodie, right? That's what it is. So here we are. I am just pinning. Again, I already did this step to my liner. The only thing different that I did to my liner was I didn't color block my sleeves. If you want to do a reversible one and you want to color block your sleeves, you can do that. And then I didn't put pockets on my liner. Sorry, I only put pockets on my liner. I mean outer. Ugh. Put pockets on the liner, outer, not the liner. If I keep trying to fix it, I'm gonna keep saying it wrong. Put the pockets on the outer. There we go. I got it, finally. Whew. I need to get it out. I've been teaching Spanish a lot more, and I promise you, I feel like I'm forgetting English. I feel like I can't read anything. I feel like I can't say anything. It's so funny. And you know, students are merciless. If I say something that not quite right, or I say it with a Spanish accent, they let me know. Okay, hood is on. You see that? Ooh, this is gonna be so cute. I can already tell. And my pocket's in there. Can you see my pocket? Little pocket, yeah. And then my liner, I'm at the same step with my liner. Same thing. They both look exactly alike. So now we're cut up with our liner. Now we're gonna go ahead and put our waistband on. And our waistband is only gonna go on our outer. So here's our outer. I'm putting it right on my board, right side up. This is the bottom edge. And I'm grabbing my liner. And I gotta make sure that my fabric is facing the right way. If I attach it this way, it'll go down that way, and that will be right. Yes. So now I'm going to attach my waistband. If you want, you can go ahead and quarter it, but I am just kind of pulling it a little bit because it doesn't have to stretch a whole lot, just a little bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and pin it right sides together. Right sides together. Raw edges matching, right sides together. And I'm doing, my waistband is a cotton lycra waistband. So it's got like good stretch. Okay, and now I'm gonna go ahead and sew that on. And then we'll move on to our next step. Coming up is what? Say what? Zippers. Can we do it? Yeah, we can. We can do it. We can do this together. My waistband is all the way attached and it's just straight raw edge, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the zipper. We can do it, we can do it. Okay, so I bought the correct size for my zipper, but if for you to measure your zipper, this is what we're gonna do. First, we're gonna fold our waistband halfway up. So we'll fold it up and we find where the middle of the waistband is. So I put a pin right there and do it on both sides, this side and that side. And that is where your zipper is going to start. Sorry, there's a lot of trash over there. So I've got my side, I'm gonna put it out like this, and I've got my mark, and I'm gonna grab my zipper, so I put it apart. This is my one side of my zipper and then my other side. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my zipper on, and I'm going to measure, see, it has to be just below where the hood and the bodice meet. So my teeth end right below it. So it's the perfect size. But if you have to take teeth off, there is actually instructions on the pattern. What I've done before is you just kind of clip them off, and you can either do it like melt the little spot, or if you have another zipper stopper you can put on. I've done with thread, like done with thread and made like a bump so it stops. It really is up to you how you want to do that part. But yes, other than that, it should be good. I already attached my zipper to my other side, so I'm trying to figure out, make sure that I attach it the right side that I'm supposed to attach it to my jacket. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't know which one's the wrong side, but that doesn't make sense, because if I put it the other way, then the teeth would be on that side. That doesn't make sense. So I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, ignore that whole comment I just had. So yes, so mine comes right below it. So it's perfect size. I don't have to change it. So what I'm going to do now is, you can go ahead and use pins to pin this on just along the raw edge. So the raw edge of the zipper to the raw edge of your jacket, right sides together. I'm using some of this wash away tape I'm just sticking it on there, and that's going to help me keep my zipper from moving out of the way. Like I said, if you don't have this, you can just use pins. I've actually heard people use wash away glue. I mean, I don't know why not, but I had this stuff already, so I'm just using that. I'm just putting it along that raw edge. It's a miracle this stuff works, because I've had this for a long time. So now I'm just sticking my zipper there, and I'm gonna steam it on. Be really careful when if you're steaming it on, that you don't melt your zipper. I'm gonna tell you, I had my zipper laying there on the table, on the ironing board, and I put my iron down, like right on it, and I burnt a little piece of it, but not enough that it melted it. It's just kind of, I'm like, ah! I grabbed it before I did any damage. Okay, so I did. So, but if you wanted to pin it, you can go ahead and pin, and that's all right. And what I'm gonna do with this piece that's left over, I'm gonna cut a little tiny bit off, but then I'm just gonna fold it down and pin it, and it's gonna get sewn on. So I'm just gonna sew it on when I sew my zipper. So the way I sew my zipper, I have a zipper foot on my machine, but really, you just have to sew the zipper on the edge. So you wanna do it like whatever foot, if your machine has a zipper foot, I will do it like a 1/4 of an inch or so away from the teeth. But if you have a zipper foot like I do, it's got, I'm gonna show it to you how it does it. It's got like this 2 little holes, you know, and so it keeps my zipper teeth against this side, and then it just sews it right there. So if you have a zipper foot, you can do that. If you don't have a zipper foot, I think a regular foot will work. You just have to make sure that it's kind of pushed out of the way, that you don't end up sewing over it. So now I'm gonna go ahead. I don't even have a special stitch I'm doing. I'm just doing a straight stitch and just keeping that alongside right there when I'm sewing it. When you're sewing the side with the stopper, you would move the stopper, with the actual zipper little head, the zipper head, you would move it all the way. I would move it up, and then when I get to it, when I have to move it, I would put the needle down, lift it up, and move it out of the way and keep going. That's what I did. When I get up here, I'm going to sew that little spot and go back so it's nice and straight. And that's it. That's it. My zipper is on. I've always been so scared about zippers, but zippers aren't really that scary. There it is. So now if you weren't doing the liner, you would just sew your stitch right there, your top stitch, and your zipper would be done. But because we're doing our liner, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my liner now. And this is the moment of truth when we put our top, our outer, and our liner together. I'm gonna put my outer face up on my board, and here's my liner. I'm gonna put it face up on this board as well. And first I'm gonna attach that band. So the band and the liner are going to meet together at the bottom. And that's why you folded that band in half, because half of it is gonna be folded in half when you flip it out. Half of it is gonna go for the outer, and half of it is gonna go for the liner. So again, you gotta stretch that band a little bit. So I would do that first. If you wanted to quarter, you can. If you wanted to mark your halves or whatever, but it really isn't that much of a stretch. It's just a tiny bit, so I'm fine with it. So I'm just pinning that bottom edge. So I'm pinning the band, the bottom edge of the band to the bottom edge of the liner. Just pinning them together, and I'm gonna sew them together, right sides together. Right side of my outer and right side of my band. Let me know how you do with the zipper. I wanna know. Guys, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I've had this pattern cut out for a while. Like, I'm not even kidding. And I've made so many other ones instead because I was so afraid to do a zipper. Like, I'm not joking. The only other time I've done a zipper is, I did one zipper unsuccessfully a while ago. That was sad. And then, well, the only reason why is because my zipper was too long, and then I went to fix it, and I didn't know how to do it right, and I messed it up. But since then, I fixed another zipper. Then I did the joggers, and good vibe joggers. And when I did those, I had to trim my zipper for the pockets, and I trimmed it, I attached it, I did it all, and it worked out. And it's a well pocket, so like you have to, I don't even know. That was like, it was great. And since then, I'm like, okay, we gotta do this, but I haven't. Now I did, so I'm excited. So now we're gonna do, this is a little bit of a scary part, because now we're gonna attach our liner to our outer. I know I'm stretching so much because I don't need to. I'm right here where my zipper starts. We're gonna fold this in half. My band is folded in half. So right there where the zipper starts, it's where my band is folded. See how we did that? Because we already did that right there. And you gotta be careful when you're sewing it on. You don't wanna eat your zipper teeth. Your zipper feet. Your teeth. So you gotta make sure that if you wanna use a little bit of Wonder Tape, you can do that. I'm just going to make sure you line up those raw edges. Those seams. There we go. And I'm just pinning. And you're gonna sew it on. Match it up right here at the neckline. And then I'm gonna go all the way around the hood. Go ahead and pin it all around. I'm gonna go ahead and keep pinning. Okay, so I said I was gonna go all the way around, but I'm not. I'm gonna go ahead and do the zipper first, just to make sure that that's done, and then we can do the rest with the serger. I'm just gonna do that with my zipper foot again. I pinned it really well. You can use the Wonder wash away Wonder Tape still if you want to. I didn't use it. I hope it doesn't come back to bite me and get all wrinkly. But I just pinned it really well. And I'm gonna go ahead and still use that zipper foot right here. And I'm gonna sew this on, making sure that I still have a 1/8, sorry, this needs to go up. It's fighting me because it's so tight. There's so many layers right here. There we go. So making sure that your seam allowance is still right, and that you're not getting too close to your zipper teeth. Almost there. Probably not the smartest thing to sew over your pins. And there it is. It's sewn on. So now I can go ahead and sew the hood on. I wanted to do this first because this is the scariest part, sewing the zipper on. Okay, and I make sure everything is good. Okay, now we go to our hood. And what we're doing is we're just matching up the hood. Let's match up the top. I have thread going everywhere. Oh, we're almost done. We did our zipper. We survived. Let me know if you survived. And we're going to attach our hood. Here we go. I'm just spinning the raw edge together. And I am going to serge that part. I didn't serge the zipper part because I was afraid I would eat the zipper. So this time I'm going to serge it. Make sure everything else is out of the way. Looking good, looking good. So now we're gonna turn our jacket right side out through our sleeve. Very slowly. Good thing it's a stretchy sleeve. Here it comes. Be careful. Don't pull too hard and rip it. I had a sign on my camera, I had to turn it off. But here it is. It's coming out. Where's my arm? I'm gonna tuck in my liner arm through my outer, because, let me get it. Here it is. There it is. My hood. Guys, look at how cute this is. Like, it's a legit hoodie. I've never made a legit zip-up hoodie. Okay, all the way. Look at it. So far. I'm gonna steam this down so it's straight. Now you can go back and, my iron turned off, great. Now you can go back and top stitch all the way around. No, before I close it, there's a pin in there. I don't even know how I felt that pin. Before I go, oh my goodness. Oh, it's on the outside. Oh, that gave me a heart attack. I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna pin my son. He would have been okay. So now what you can do is, you can go ahead and before we attach the sleeve cuff, if you want, you can go ahead and top stitch. I'm gonna steam this, hold on, all the way out. And I'm gonna steam it right here and go all the way around and top stitch if you want. That's what you wanna do. It gives it more of a finished look. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go steam it all the way flat, go all the way around and top stitch. Now let me tell you this. When you turn it around, make sure you look everywhere to see if there were some spots that you might have missed or anything like that. And if you find a spot, go ahead and before you sew the cuff together, turn it back and make sure you sew the seams correctly, okay? Because it will be really hard to do it once it's all sewn together. So if you want to go ahead and give it a look over now and make sure that everything looks good, all the seams are together, and you're good to go, then you're good to go to top stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and top stitch just around all the, even right here at the zipper, I'm going to do a top stitch line all the way down, all the way around, just to give it that more like put together look. And then we'll move on to doing our cuffs. Hey friends, top stitched all the way around. Actually, I decided not to do around my hood because It's like that cozy fleece like, so I figured I'd just leave it like that. Ooh, look at how cute this is. I did one cuff, and I'm gonna show you how to do the other one, and we'll be done. Done, done, done. How exciting. All right, you know what I didn't do on my cuff? I didn't make sure that my fabric was right side up, and no, it wasn't. I messed up. But you can't really tell because the shapes are kind of, the only one that you can see is the one that's on the inside, so it's okay. So I'm gonna show you. So we're gonna go ahead, and here's my cuff. We're gonna fold it right sides together, and that raw edge, I'm gonna go ahead and sew that up. Now, I just thought about that when I talked to you guys. I need you to help me when I'm sewing. If I don't, if you're not here to help me, then I do things like putting the cuffs upside down. That's okay. All right, so here's my cuff. Now, if you are making the reversible jacket, this is how you're gonna do it. You're gonna tuck your cuff in, right sides together, and you're going to sew the edge just to one side. So if I sew it right here, okay, and then you're gonna fold it, and on the other one, the one that's gonna be reversible, you're just gonna tuck it in and fold, okay? So it'll be, whoop, that's not right sides together. That's why it's not looking right. Right sides together. And so you're gonna fold it, you're gonna attach it to that one. Okay, so it's the right side on this side. And then this one, you're going to attach right sides together on this one. Ah, I'm getting confused. Yes, so just sew one on this one, and then sew it right sides together, fold and fold on the other one. So it's just like on the fold, okay? So you're just sewing it on because you're not gonna serge it on, you're just gonna sew it on onto the, you can do a zigzag stitch or whatever, but the serger won't work. You're gonna have to sew it on. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. There's a better, it's kind of hard to tell on this one when I show it to you like this, but there's a really good picture on the tutorial, so you'll be able to see what it really means. Like you stick this out, so that way it's out of the way. And you do, this is the liner. Then you attach it to the front, to the outer first, and then you fold it onto the liner. Like fold down, and then fold down again, and then sew it on. Does that make sense? Can you see it? Let me know in the comments if it makes sense. But anyway, I'm not doing reversible like I already told you because I just did a black inside. So I put my two sleeves together, meeting the seams, and now I'm gonna fold my cuff wrong sides together, sorry, so the right sides together are out. Right sides are out. Here's my cuff. Put it like this, and I open it. It's going to be upside down. So I want to do it this way. It's going to be upside down. If I put it here and I flip it out, yeah, I want to do it this way. All right. It's all right. That's gonna be on the inside anyway. So I'm gonna grab all those seams. I'm gonna put them together, all the seams. Oh, I tucked the cuff into my sleeve, and I put them right sides together. And I'm stretching my cuff all the way out, and I'm going to one side, and I'm gonna pin right there. And I'm stretching my cuff this way, meeting the two pins together, and I'm gonna go to the two sides and pin right there. One side, another side. Make sure all your layers are pinned together. There should be 2 layers of the cuff and 2 layers of the armband, so the outer and the liner. So there should be 4 layers all together. And I'm gonna start at the seam, and I'm just gonna sew those layers together. Making sure everything is out of the way. And I know that probably was more than the seam allowance they gave me that I'm cutting right here. But sometimes I rather cut a little bit more of the sleeve and then be all together. It's good. He's good. Okay, Now I'm gonna turn it and my cuff is on. See it? Then you steam it. You can go back and top stitch that cuff. But other than that, we are done with our Sip It jacket. Was that not so cool? That was great. And here's my zipper. It works. And it's lined, so it's nice and soft and cool. And yeah, my kid's gonna love it. So exciting. I want to put it on. I don't know. Will it fit me? Maybe my kid is almost as big as me. It's a little bit small. It's a little tight. I don't want to rip it. But that is so cool. I might go ahead and go make myself one so we can match. But how cool is this? I love it. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if there's something I didn't explain quite right. If you have any questions with it. If you're not part of our Facebook or Instagram page, our details below have our links. Go join us so you can get inspired by other ones that are sewing, other people that are sewing just like you. Or also, we'd love to see your creations. So go post them on there so we can see them. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. So that way you can get a notice of all our videos. And that's it. Remember, if you subscribe, comment below so you can be entered to our fun fan giveaway. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.